What's good, duelist fandom here, and today I'm bringing you guys a Shaddoll Dinosaur deck profile for June of 2018. So yeah, I'm sorry for the unexpected hiatus from the game, but we're back from our 5-month break, and we're here playing in this format with Shaddoll Dinosaur. So the reason why I chose Shaddoll Dinosaur for my deck for this format is because Winda shuts down special summoning, which is really good. Tyranno prevents link plays and other things, and the deck just OTKs like nuts. So yeah, let's get right into the profile. I think this deck's really good. It has a really good matchup against Sky Striker Trickstar, which is the most represented deck in the meta right now. So I'll explain what you do in different matchups as we go on. So first off, for the monsters, we play double Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This card's really good. It's probably one of the best boss monsters the game has ever seen. Basically, you summon this card by banishing 2 dinosaur type monsters from the grave, but that's not how you're going to summon it often. You're going to summon it using a spell card called Double Evolution Pill. It allows you to special summon 1 dinosaur type monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, and this card's great. Basically, what its effect is that you can destroy 1 monster on your field or in your hand to flip all your opponent's monsters into face down defense position. So yeah, when your opponent summons like a Trickstar Candina or like a Lycurus or anything, you can just chain this card, and then that'll just give you the free face down monster that you can attack into for 1,000 attack. And then when your opponent like specials Drunk Forward and normals Super X, you can just chain this, put that stuff face down, and then they won't be able to make an assault. So yeah, this card's overall a really good card. And then its effect that helps you OTK is that it can attack all your opponent's face down defense position monsters once, and then if it does, you can send it to the graveyard and inflict 1,000 damage. Just keep in mind that it's send, so like cards that can't be destroyed by battle are still vulnerable to this card because it sends and not destroys. So yeah, next up for the monsters, we play triple Soul Eating Oviraptor. This card's probably one of the best cards in the deck. This card helps you with your combo plays. It's basically the best normal summon in the deck. And when it's normal special summon, you can send 1 dinosaur type monster from your deck to your grave, or you can add 1 to your hand. So that's really good. You're usually going to be sending this card to the graveyard, Overtext Quatless. This card is great. It searches your Double Evolution Pill, which helps you combo off to bring out Tyranno. Oh yeah, so basically the deck's win condition is Tyranno, so you want to get that out as much as possible. With that logic, you'd want to play it at 3, but just seeing multiples in your hand is just sucky. And I decided to play 2 because it's better than 1, but not 3. So yeah, 1 Dogron. This card's really good. Just having a searchable Kaiju off Oviraptor is really good. It can help you out problematic monsters, like if Draco summons Metaltron on you, or like if you're playing Brandish, you can just Kaiju this, tribute the Shizuku or the Kagari, and then this shuts down their Widow Anchor play because they control a monster in the main monster zone. And then yeah, this card's really good. It's easily it can be beaten over by Tyranno, which is why you play it. But if you don't have Tyranno, this card's kind of a bad card because there's basically no way to get over it except maybe Utopia Lightning. And then 1 Giant Rex, because this card's broken. Basically when it's banished, you can just special summon it back. So if you have like Oviraptor, you dump Giant Rex, activate Pill, banish Rex, and then bring it back, and then you have a free Dolka or rank 4 of your choice. So yeah, that's all for the dinosaurs. For the Shaddolls, I only played 3 because I think they're bricks and horrible to open. You play 1 Beast, 1 Dragon, and 1 Hedgehog. They all have different effects when they're sent to the graveyard. But yeah. So Hedgehog's effect is that I can search a Shaddoll card from your deck to your hand. Dragon pops a spell or trap card, which is good for hitting the multi-row. And then the Beast is it's an upstart. So yeah, that's all the Shaddoll monsters we play. For the supporting engine cards, we play double Armageddon Knight. This card isn't as good as a normal summon as Soul Eating Oviraptor, but it's still a great normal summon. It's good utility. You can send a Shaddoll and get their effect, or even send a Quatless and add the Double Evolution Pill to your hand, which is really cool. So that's all for the regular monsters. For the hand traps, we play Triple Joel and Lockbird. This card's pretty controversial right now, but I do love it in this deck because you stop their turn and then you just OTK them next turn, which is really cool. I don't think this card's worth playing in a deck if you can OTK them next turn, because they can just go off next turn because they still have all their resources in their hand. And then Triple Ash Blossom, this card's been staple in most of the lists now. It's just overall good card, and yeah. Next up for the spells, we play of course Triple Shaddoll Fusion. This card's probably the best spell card in the deck, maybe rivaling Double Evolution Pill. So basically what this card says is that if your opponent controls a monster in the extra deck, that summoned from the extra deck, you can send monsters from deck to your graveyard and use those as fusion materials instead, which is really good because you send the overtext quatless to summon Winda, and then the overtext gets the search for the double evolution pill, which is really good. So yeah, that's Shaddoll fusion. Yeah, you blind second, so your opponent will most likely always have a monster from their extra deck unless they play a deck that doesn't require extra deck like True Draco. But then you just summon Tyranno against True Draco and win. And then you play triple double evolution pill. This is how you get out your Tyranno. This card gets searched off quatless, and you banish one dinosaur type monster and one non-dinosaur type monster from either your hand or grave, and then special summon a dinosaur monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is really good. And then we play 3 Fossil Dig for consistency. This card basically just searches Oviraptor or Giant Rex, dependent on the situation. And then for draw power, since this deck has none, play Double Desires. I don't really worry about banishing the Tyrannos, because basically you'll go off and then activate Desires and hopefully draw into like a hand trap or something. But just the draw 2 cards going second is really good. It's actually really good at baiting out negates as well. And then 2 Allure of Darkness, because most of the deck is dark, but there are some monsters that aren't dark. And then double Twin Twister. I need to play this card because back row decks like kill this deck, like Paleo or like Altergeist. Just, it's a really hard matchup. So yeah, double Twin Twisters just to help get rid of the back row. Monster Reborn, because this is blind second deck. And then the best utility spell card, Foolish Burial. This card can send Giant Rex, Overtext Quatless, any of the Shaddolls, you name it. It's just really good. This card's a upstart, it's a MST, it's a search for your Shaddoll fusion card, it's a search for your double evolution pill, which is really, really good. And then since you blind second, we're gonna play triple evenly matched, of course. This card's great. I love it. This is how you win your grind matchups against like Paleo or Altergeist. You just end your battle phase and activate this card. In my opinion, this card's really good because if you're playing against like Paleo or Altergeist, or maybe not Altergeist, but Paleo will keep their Toad so that your Shaddoll fusion will still be live next turn. And then yeah, so basically that's evenly matched. And then for the extra deck, so oh yeah, sorry, that's a 40 card main deck, by the way. I think it's perfect. I wouldn't change anything at all. We play double Winda and 1 Shikanaga for the extra deck for our fusion monsters. So Winda requires a Shaddoll monster and a dark monster. Our dark monster being Overtext Quatless, and Shikanaga requires an earth monster. You barely summon this card, but it's just a good card to have. So the main card is Winda. So basically what Winda does is that your opponent cannot destroy this. Is it destroy? Yeah, it cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effect. And then each player can only special summon 1 monster per turn, which is really, really good. It just shuts down a lot of decks. It makes Scapegoat dead, and like Lycris as well and stuff. So for the things that require dinosaurs, you play 1 Lagia and 1 Dolka. I find that Dolka is much better than Lagia. However, you summon this card against Trickstar and they lose because they need Candina to play, and then Lagia is just good if you feel like your opponent will have like a Mirror Force or anything. And then the cards that help you OTK, 1 Gagaga Samurai. This card dishes for 38, which is good. 38 plus like the 35 you're getting from Tyranno is really good damage. And you summon this card, which is like hilarious. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. So yeah, this card comes up a lot when you have 2 Tyrannos on the field, and then you just overlay for this, especially in time, and then you inflict 2000 damage. You can be down by a lot and still use this card and win. That's why I think this is better over Cowboy. But it is less accessible than Cowboy. And then of course the Utopia package to help us OTK or get over big monsters. 1 Tornado Dragon for our spell and trap decks. Like ABC, it's good at hitting Hanger, Light Stage, or any back row at all that you might have trouble about. And then Dweller, if Goki hand traps you, just make this card they can't play, as well as Draco. So yeah, this is an overall really good card. And then for the links, you play 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Borreload Dragon. Borreload, you really never summon, but it's always good to have just in case you need to like Borreload their Borreload or something. And then Underclock Taker, you make and then Underclock and Tyranno is just unfair because like that's a free 35. Yeah, and then for the Cherries targets, you play 1 Kagari and 1 Helix. We side the sold. So yeah, these are the Cherries targets. Cherries just helps you stop their plays and OTK them next turn. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. Onto our side deck. We're going to be playing, of course, Double Sphere Mode, the sackiest card ever. I love this card. the reason why you can't play this card is because of cards like Double Evolution Pill that don't require your normal summon to use. So yeah, you just break their board and then you like OTK them, which is really, really funny. And then of course Triple Cherries to stop their plays. This card is probably one of the best hand traps in the format. It just shuts down their plays because Sky Striker can't play without Kagari, Spirals can't play without Helix, and Gookie can't play without Assault. But then, so yeah, so you play one Assault. My teammate's borrowing my Assault right now for his Gookie deck. So yeah, double Called by the Grave. Since this deck does blind second, your opponent does realize that you have no turn 1 plays and make you play and make you go first. So turn 1, this card's good because if they Ash your Double Evolution Spell, you activate Called by the Grave, they just negged 1 and start turn 2 with 5 cards, which is really good. The third Twin Twisters, if you need it. And then we play, of course, Triple Mind Crush for the Trickstar matchup. You already have a pretty good matchup against Trickstar, but like any deck that searches at all, that makes you want to go first, Mind Crush is a great card for you to put in. And then Red Reboot is the MVP card. During testing, this card has been so good to me. My opponent has tried to reincarnation me, and I just chain this, and then they can't do anything. And then although I do lose 4,000 life, it's just game every time because I just OTK them. Alright, so for the 1-card combo this deck can pull off, all you need is Shaddoll Fusion. You'll be blinding second, so your opponent will have an extra monster in their extra monster zone. So let's just say, for this example, that they have a Kagari right in the extra monster zone right there. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to activate Shaddoll Fusion and send monsters from your deck to your grave. So you're going to send Shaddoll Beast as well as Overtext Koalas to summon your Shaddoll Winda. Then your Overtext Koalas is going to trigger Sorry for the Glare. And then that's going to add you a Double Evolution Pill to your hand. Then you're going to activate Double Evolution Pill since your graveyard has the requirements of 1 dinosaur and 1 non-dinosaur being beast. So you can banish these 2 to summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno from the deck. And then that's just unfair because like this is a lot of damage. Shaddoll and Overtext being banished. Just a lot of damage. So you can just swing into Kagari, or you can even swing with Tyranno if you want. It's the same amount of damage either way. But yeah, this is just a unbreakable board basically going into your next turn. I mean, unless they have like a Lava Golem or some Kaijus or something, this is gonna be really, really good because you're gonna have another monster in your hand. That's just how the deck works. You'll have another monster in hand for fodder as for Tyranno, and then your opponent can't out this board with any monsters because they'll only be able to special summon 1 per turn due to Winda, and this card can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and this card can just flip them on to face down defense position if they even try to attempt to do anything. So yeah, it's gonna be it for the deck file. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any video ideas, make sure to let me know in the comments below. If you didn't enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you guys so much for watching. Phantom out.